Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. Welcome to the Straight No Chaser with the Queen podcast. And I'm coming live because, yes, all the shooting, all the white on black crime that's been going on that has been affecting us. We really, 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 really need solutions. When white men attack, throughout history, it's been black people. We're going to talk about that uncomfortable conversation that we don't want to have because we have white friends, or we say all white people are not racist. With keeping this situation comfortable, it's costing us our lives, our cultures. It's costing our children generational wealth. It's costing us our humanity. Before I bring up some people, we got some people that's going to be joining us from the nation. I want us to know the solution. The solution is sticking together. This is why they always decided they want to destroy our leaders and our black leaders. Grand Rising, Kathy. They want to destroy us because they don't want us to join together and stop them from being a parasite and an oppressor to us. What the United Empires of Akibalon is, this is the solution. Before I get into the story, let's get the solution. We have to separate. This government is so corrupt. Grand Rising, Black Mama. This government is so corrupt that there's no other way but to start governing ourselves and to build a better system. And we have every right to. Why do they keep destroying leaders? Why did they kill Malcolm X? Why? Because they wanted to make sure we don't know this international law. See, they have us running around in this circle called America. Hey, Dolores, I know you told me to do the story. I was trying to, I hate doing bad stories, but here I am. Because we got to get solutions. I'm here for the solutions. Micronations. They don't want you to know international laws. They don't want Darren Lewis. I don't know. I don't use the WhatsApp yet. I had it, but I don't really use it. But they don't want us to know these international laws because they want us to play these state laws. But the states are joined together in the United Nations because they have laws that they're supposed to follow. I sound low. Everyone said that before. Can you hear me now? They have laws that they're supposed to follow. Turn that down, baby. They can't hear. I think my microphone acting up. I think I got to get my computer checked. They have laws that they're supposed to follow. See, they always enforcing their laws on us while getting away with breaking the law. You get what I'm saying? So we have to have laws. So let me tell you what. You can turn it up a little bit. They said they can hear me now. Let me tell you what micronations is. This is something we're going to do our own book, but we have international laws. And let me tell you what a micronation is. We could be many micronations, just like there's many different countries that's under. You can, if you want to chat, just email me, Darian Lewis, and then we can go from there. Email me at Straight No Chaser with the Queen. There are international laws. Let's go to the solution before we get in the story, because the stories are always the same. I'm gonna get y'all in Pride Bentley and Charlie. Let's talk about the solution of getting together. What they stopped with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they stopped us. What is the key to our destruction is to keep us divided. In order to get together, we have to find a way to get on one level. A micronation. A micronation, sometimes referred to as a model country or a new country project. It is an entity that claims to be an independent nation or state, but is not recognized by world governments or major international organizations. But it does not stop you from being a state, because the only reason that everybody consider these states is because they took over the black lands and the people that were here and in different places. So we have to understand who gave them permission. So there's no certain permission for us to stand up for ourselves. We don't have to do we don't need permission. Micronations are distinguished from imaginary countries because you have 100 and something micronations in America. Some of them are imaginary countries and projects. But when we want to get real, we need to get real. Separate and independent. This is the solution. This is what we keep saying. We just created another flag because we already have two Americas. They just sucked the blood out of this America. They are micronations are distinguished from imaginary countries and from other kinds of social groups by expressing a formal and persistent, even if unrecognized, claim of sovereignty over some physical territory. Micronations are also distinct from true secessionist movements. Micronation activities are almost always trivial enough to be ignored rather than challenged by the establishments in the nations whose territory they claim. The earliest known micronations date back from the beginning of the 19th century. It said the advent of the internet provided means for people to create many new micronations whose members are scattered all over the world and interact mostly by electronic means, often calling their micronations nomad countries. This is real, people. It's going to be as real as we take it. We need freedom. We need to not be governed by those who kill us and then decide when they're going to punish themselves by constantly putting us in jail while letting themselves go free. We got our black men in jail right now for marijuana, and white men sitting on the corner with billion-dollar corporations selling weed. We got black men in jail for selling weed, and then the cocaine is killing, and opioids and all this and meth is killing them more. But we have the black man being in jail, and weed is at the top of the federal list of a drug, something that grows out the ground. We have white men in suits called pharmacists. They call themselves the pharmacists, legalized drug addicts, legalized drug dealers. When is enough going to be a fuck enough? Let me bring Charlie up. That's in the micronation. We got a Kibelon. That's for all of us. I don't care who you are, because what everybody is trying to do is create groups and trying to change the system. But as the Eternal Tribune said, the system is so corrupt, we need another system. Every country, there is always a fall. America has helped a lot of countries fall. Grand Rising, Charlie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Grand Rising Queen. Can you hear me?
Yes. Well, we're talking about, I was giving them an example of the micronation, but I came in and I know y'all seen the picture. We're talking about all these white men who are committing these crimes, and these mass shootings is nothing normal. We have mass shootings with us all the time. If we add up all the police shootings, we're getting mass shootings by this. It's always the same scenario. A white man in a blue uniform representing America, representing the police, Blue Lives Matter, are murdering us and getting away with it. And then they have their uncles and aunts in the judges' seats and the prosecutors and the DAs, and they're backing up this system of white supremacy. So what did you want to say, Charlie? I'm going to let you have the floor.
Well, it's a hard truth, Queen. It all boils down to punishment. It's going to come to when, we as black men, black women, boys and girls, all of our whole community, when we're going to say enough is enough. It's time to stand up for ourselves, and the fact that, if you see a wrong, don't be afraid to do that wrong back. If someone hits you, hit them back.
Ain't that what we was taught when we were little?
Right.
The only thing we do is practice that on each other.
And that's that conditioning that we have to get out of.
I was explaining to them micronations, and what we want y'all to know is that We took a stand to represent everyone as a country, as a new micronation. You know, oh, I put up the wrong thing. Sorry, Cam. So basically, so that we can start ways of governing each other, basically like the Black United Nations. I hate using the word black, but that's how we recognize black, melanated United Nations, because we have to start policing our own streets. When we got the Black Panthers came about because they were stopping this kind of BS, because they never make sure they have any competition. They never make sure we're in a place to challenge anything that they are doing to us. Not even in the court system. And when we do get in the court systems, it's only a minimal of us that's trying to do right. You don't hear their voices, or they're harassed so much that they leave out. Or when we get in there, we become sellouts or are sellouts when we go in there. Black Mama said, first, we need to stop being so damn friendly to the enemy. No wishing them good morning, no telling jokes, no tap dancing. What do you have to say about that? You know, Black Mama be coming. Quincy over there laughing. She said no tap dance. I can hear her voice saying it. What do you have to say about that, Charlie?
I agree. It's like that all the time. The more we keep trying to forgive, the more we keep trying to say it's okay, and not take the onus on ourselves to defend ourselves, the more they're going to keep oppressing us. I mean, it's the only way to fight a bully is to confront that bully. Once you take the bully down, the bully's not going to mess with you anymore. So it's up to us, really.
Quincy said, "Good point. You gotta face it." And y'all are right. It's like we are been taught not to face it, so they keep saying, "Stop this now." Is in our history. Stop CRT. Or it was a long time ago when we watched them reenact the fucking Civil War all the time, or any other thing that they want to preserve. It's like it's a double standard in every way. And if we keep thinking that we're gonna pray and march and sing our way, or maybe what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? To get rich? And I'm confused. Do you know, Charlie, what our people waiting for? Let me read what Black Mama says. Save our smoke for the enemy, not each other. Always beating each other up. But when the enemy hits us, we only cry and set up GoFundMe. You better beat that ass. I didn't see that part. The Lord, Darian Lewis 88 said, Lunel spoke on this. Kathy said, stay on code with each other. Thinking Space said, it's not okay to be oppressed, attacked, opposed. So basically, I think we need to be separate and independent, like Thinking Space has said, because trying to get in with them is not working. We were already here. They interrupted the whole globe, erased us because of a genetic jealousy, because we don't never get a chance to get in to study our own people. We wouldn't have to study had they not killed everybody else that can tell the story. And we see that they're doing it before our eyes now. We knew Dylan Roof. These people are literally walking into black spaces, killing black people. And we have to say suspected white supremacists. Suspected. And it's always giving them an edge of an excuse of, and then the stupidest excuse is that it could have been something from COVID. So now COVID makes you think about another race, and you get up and attack them, and you notice nobody else is attacking nobody because of their race, because they had COVID. It say implement CRT wherever you are. Don't wait for permission. I'm an educator. I teach the truth regardless of what their textbooks say. Yeah, but that's why they go back and they've been making it a law. They've been making it against the law now so that you can't teach it. In Florida, they made it against teaching it and somehow put businesses under the law. And they know most black businesses are small businesses. So they want to make sure they erase the truth about themselves. So it's like people like Ron DeSantis, Biden, and all these people are showing us that they're down with white supremacy and that it's okay for us to be murdered and killed. It's okay for white women to use their tears and cry and call the police. But yet, if we call the police, they're going to make sure we are arrested for using their time. We can get arrested for playing with our baby wrong on camera, or doing something, or putting our kids in a different school district, even though we all supposed to pay taxes. But yet they can get away with murdering us. They get away. They said that I did a video, and I don't know if y'all seen it, where the FBI has already said that the KKK, white supremacists, has infiltrated the police department. It's so bad that basically it's like almost all of them. We can see it. Anybody that yells Blue Lives Matter is a KKK member. Because to say Blue Lives Matter and not understand why, and I don't believe in the Black Lives Matter, I like the phrase, because the Black Lives Matter people who ran it is the ones that's corrupt. So it's the Blue Lives Matter people who are running it is the ones that's corrupt. We are always lumped in when saying we're doing wrong, but they never be guilt by association. They're never. This boy that shot up these black people at the Tops, he dropped off his weapons at his friend's house. That's his best friend. He had a manifesto of 180 pages. How did his parents or no one know? How come little white boys always have access to dangerous weapons? We look at the world that these people are ruling around us. They're letting everybody get weapons, and they putting this fear that somebody is coming to get white men in America. They always are fearing that somebody is attacking them, but in reality, only white men are dressing up in U.S. uniforms and going to other countries and attacking them, and coming in blue uniforms and attacking the black people that's in this country. Nobody is attacking white men. So do you ever ask, I'm going to ask you this, Charlie, Grand Rising one who cares, when you see all these white people getting guns, and I'm asking the audience and I'm asking all y'all, we see it all the time. They always arguing about their gun rights and everything. They're always saying they want their guns. They got to save America and all this other stuff, right? Who are they afraid of? Who's coming to get them, and who are they getting guns against? Who are they? It's us. Because at the end of everything, it's always a white man shooting a black person, whether he in uniform or he just mad, and then all the secret hangings. So who are they getting guns against in America? Why is America filled with guns if we're all American?
They're referencing us. We shouldn't be afraid to study these laws. We need to study these laws. Don't be afraid to be a gun owner. Don't be afraid to have that concealed carry permit. Most of the time, the concealed carry permit is reciprocal through most of the states around you. There's only a few states that don't have reciprocity with the concealed gun law. So at all chances that you get, go and get you some guns. Go and get the ammunition. Have your stockpile. Go get that training. Take your family. I'm charging the men to instruct the women, their kids. You need to go get this training. You need to defend yourself.
Well, we gotta find places. We say go get it, but we gotta look at on the website. That's something we need to do. Is make a list of where they can go get guns, and where they can go get gun training, because this is not an everyday thing. One thing I know is, as in people, and that's what I want to do as a nation, is that a lot of the stuff our people don't know where to go and where to start. They don't know how to start being independent because they've always been dependent. It's kind of like we see a woman still breastfeeding a little 5 and 4-year-old boy, and we said that's ridiculous because he got teeth now. We've been the same way. We've been grown people hand fed by our enemy, and we don't realize it. We're gonna tell the truth on two things right now. We keep letting the enemy get away with what they're doing, and we keep being dependent on them at the same time. And we're scared to separate. We're scared to be uncomfortable, even though we're uncomfortable every damn day. And we're scared to help hurt feelings and talk about the truth because we got white friends. Or because you got a business and we already know it's hard as black people, they're going to make it harder on us because that's that unspoken rule that white people own and rule everything. So we operate under this blanket of white supremacy, pretending that we are in an open world.
That's the key. Once you realize that you don't need them to do what you need to do, we can be sufficient on ourselves, on our own. That fear, what you talked about, that's the main problem we have. Once you make up in your mind that you don't want to be held back anymore, it's going to be easy. It's simple. And as far as getting recognition, finding gun clubs, that can be, arranged too. It's many of them that you can find online. Simple Google search. Once you do that, pass the message on. We can do that ourselves through our QB line. We can pass the message on, put it on our website. So, we can get that out there. We just have to educate our people and not be afraid to own those weapons.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I got these white men. Did y'all see okay, Peyton, what is his name? Gendron. He is the guy that shot up the people at the church. I just want to just kind of share some stuff with our people. Hold on. I'm going to show you how they stick together. I'm going to read you this. Can y'all see the screen? Peyton Gendron allegedly left ammo rifle at his friend's a day before Buffalo massacre. A day before the Buffalo massacre. Accused, shooting a bunch of people ain't enough evidence, so he still is just an accused white supremacist murderer. He dropped off ammunition and a high-powered rifle at his best friend's home a day before his slaughter at Buffalo supermarket. The PAL claimed the 18-year-old suspect showed up unannounced. They want to make sure they clear at 8 a.m. to drop off the terrifying arsenal with a longtime pal, Matthew Casado, a 19-year-old Hispanic man who has a black girlfriend. So I want you to, did you hear that? See how they white splained and cleared up the friend all at the same time? Nobody.
It lets you know that all this stuff is not solo. He had a whole community behind him.
That's right. And they knew that this was going to happen because it happens all the time. They knew that they have a community behind him. You're not going to write this. They said that he was following stuff online. They said he was online. They make us, in our stress, in our struggles, we're always supposed to know what's going on with our children, even though we're always at their jobs, building their empires while their children are getting breastfed by our words. And nobody is holding these white moms responsible for the destruction that these white kids are doing. Nobody check. We're supposed to check our kids. We get our property and everything taken if our people are suspected with drugs. The war on drugs. What about the war on white? The white supremacist war on everybody black or melanated in America. Now, poor whites, y'all get bullied because that's just that in your people nature. That's you, but that has nothing to do with us. Just like so-called black on black crime has nothing to do with white people. But white people find it their place to come in our communities and police us and tell us about black on black crime when they white on crime everybody. Everybody from the Japanese to the Chinese to the blacks to the Hispanics could say what white people have did to them and continue to do to them through the past, even the Jews. But their white people cannot say they have been attacked by other people and other races like they attack other people. These are these uncomfortable conversations we can't have because the white people who down with the bullshit owns YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Google, and we keep feeding it. They go unpunished. They go unpunished because we're trying to play their system in their courts. It's time to build our courts and our jails. Who said we can't? You are tricked to think that you can't. I'm gonna show you another white man that attacked. Hold on. Is always near Florida. See this white man right here? Hold on. This is the white man that attacked. His name is Kevin Troy Williamson, 59. That's the white man that went into the gas station and just started punching the black girl a couple of days ago or a week ago. He just started punching her.
And you failed to appear before Judge Lanigan. So she's already set a bond amount for you so that you can come before her and give her some explanations about what's.
I don't even want to hear his case. Hold on, I'm trying to get a better picture of him. He said McCoy says the battery charges should be bumped up to hate crime due to the insistent racist remarks. It wasn't about the racist remarks. It was about his big ass white ass walking up in a gas station, and there you go, and just decided that you want to just start punching a black woman because she's black. So he's not getting. They're still deciding. They're still deciding on his hate crime. Said because the remarks that he used. See how these people, I told you, these demons play with words. Their words are their sword. Oh, if he said the racist remark, even though we can clearly see this big ass, doofy ass, old ass, racist ass white man attacking this black woman, and then you leave because he thinks that nobody is going to care. That's where the black men come in at. That's when we have to start patrolling our streets again. Solutions. This is why we got to stop letting them making us frown upon the Black Panthers and all these black militia groups and your black militia groups out of there. You can't go around acting crazy and stuff. You got to get professional and start organizing and patrolling your streets. We got to start our own police system. Do you know that the police get money from the government, the taxes you pay, you and your children pay? And they fund these police departments. That's why they say defund the police. How do you defund the police? You stop giving them governmental money. You make it against the law to funnel money there. We could build our own police stations. Why do we keep using the systems that they created? We created the Black Panthers. They made sure they lied and killed everyone. That's because everybody in that time Black Panthers was too radical. So it's not too radical for your black asses to keep getting shot and killed and hung, and then want us to keep saying hands up, don't shoot, say her name, blah 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 blah. This ain't the first group of black people that just been shot up by a white boy. This Dylan Roof just did. Here we go with Dylan Roof. Let me show that, because I'm just trying to show y'all. It seems like we keep going down the same rabbit hole. You remember in Alice in Wonderland, you gonna keep going down that damn crazy ass hole until you get the shit right. Hold on. Do I got it on the right one? Yeah. I'm just showing his face. There you go. Dylan Roof had all this. He would burn the flags. He even got a Wikipedia now. He's a white supremacist neo-Nazi. Even though his mom and dad and all these white boys, it seem like they just all of a sudden the white parents just don't know what happened. They don't understand. All they know is that they little white murderer all of a sudden woke up and just killed black people. Like that ain't the conversation at the dinner table. Like you ain't see him out in your backyard burning a goddamn flag. I thought that was desecration of the flag was against the damn law. Am I wrong?
You're right.
But but no parents, none of their parents go to jail for the shit they do. But how many black parents these trolls, these pigs done marched up in your house and done took your children and looking in your cabinets and seeing if you got food, not counting that the government is making sure that you are a poor class, a designated poor class, and that you're not able to get the salaries that they get. And so to hide their salaries, they came up with that bullshit talking about don't let no other person know what you making. If we all doing the same job and we working hard, what is there to hide? The Black Panthers and all of them came so that we can be protected, so they wouldn't come over here bullying us. We want to talk about the black man. The black man did stand up with the Black Panthers, and then the black women, and you could research it. While y'all keep talking about the black woman against the black man, Kevin Samuels followers. And I'm a side note, Kevin Samuels did not have a successful relationship, did not have a relationship with his black queens or daughters, and died lonely on top of a stranger. Now back over here, black men did create the Black Panthers. And then the sisters came in there and helped it more. You do the research. Black women was in there. We had the white people too. We say keep white people out, and I understand that, but it was not the white people who let them be used. It was our black men. I don't care if the government did kill them. It was the black man who took the money. It was the black man when you started getting rich. All these towns and most of this lynching came from y'all black men running after these white women. Knowing that these, instead of standing over here, instead of building your own TV stations like we did, instead of fighting back, y'all were getting rich and taking your generational wealth and giving it back to them and risking it all for her, for Becky. Not saying all of them, not saying like Emmett Till, I ain't talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about you black men, just like I was talking to Black Mama about that story that Jamie Foxx made. That movie Jamie Foxx and the guy from the Black Panther, Michael Jordan, I think. They made that movie about the black man who went to jail. He was accused of the murder. And that black lawyer, I think Jamie Foxx played the man, and Michael Jordan played the attorney. I forgot the name of that movie. But even though we were fighting, you could see for justice, it was an unjust act. He went to prison for something he ain't did, but at the end of the fucking day, he was cheating on his black woman with a white woman. So the white people did not like him. These white men keep saying they don't want y'all with they white women, and y'all black men so proud. You gonna prove that you gonna get you one. And this is what's been happening through centuries, because some of y'all was risking it all, knowing that your whole town could be burned down. If you go to Becky, you wasn't trying to build the black government. I want y'all to look at a documentary, and my husband can tell you, we had the whole fucking black government. We had our own nation. Y'all keep reading these books trying to be like Ken and Becky. You trying to talk like Ken, trying to talk like Becky, trying to take the soul and the melanin out your voices. That's what we mean by when you're talking white. Not about how you pronounce, not about knowing your words and knowing they messed up language, but it's about how you take your soul out of yourself so you can dumb yourself down to be blank, like a blank piece of paper like them. They're a blank piece of paper and being filled with our intellectual knowledge. Their cultures, their food, their inventions, their whole corporations are built off of our intellectual knowledge. So why won't we build our own? What are you scared of, Tyrone? Keisha? I guess that's our names, because y'all like that shit in the song.
We don't need that half. We got enough people to do what we need to do. We already know that this government is not for us. That's why we need our own government. Those that are not on board gonna get left behind. That's what I got to say about that.
Let me tell you about this, Black Love, and you, Charlie. Black Love said earlier, a YouTuber mentioned that the gentleman killed first by the animal in Buffalo was an inventor making a way to run cars using water, and a senator said that government is behind that hit. Now, that could be funny and true, but it's kind of, it could be just a coincidence because that might be in that vicinity, because they would have had to told him to go to the grocery store then. But you never know, because just like they say, Malcolm X wasn't shot by the men up there. They said Malcolm X was shot by the men in the balcony. You don't know. But that man right there was Quincy's them family assaulter. That's what Quincy them is, assaulters. So the actual man that was shot was my husband's family, and he's learning about the car and stuff that he was built. Well, the energy that he was built. So it is a coincidence that every time somebody builds something great or does something, they kill them. That's why we need protection. We need to start pooling our money together and hiring our own police, because we need private security. We normalize having private security as these damn stars who ain't doing shit but entertaining you. They've been around, they ain't solved nothing. The activists ain't solved shit, ain't did nothing for you. We keep pouring money into all this stuff that is not helping us. We need to pour our money into our own police stations and stop trying to wait for we live off of GoFundMe, and they live off of our backs. These people had done nothing. They didn't even care that black man was a former cop. They ain't even mad at the white supremacist that he killed a cop. What happened to Blue Lives Matter? Because it's all bullshit. I'm tired of the bullshit. Excuse me, I'm going to have to calm down and not curse, because I'm tired of living in this bullshit. And I'm tired of waiting for my black people to get a clue. I'm tired of seeing y'all talk about pray for Jesus, and then I'm tired of y'all seeing y'all so-called miracles. If God kept you alive, he kept your black ass alive to get up and do something, to show you strong enough to fight. If he could save you from this, then he could save you from the white bullets. Stop being scared so you can have a life. We gonna have time and chance is already there for us. There's gonna be a time we all gonna die. But let us die naturally, not by the hands of the enemy. It's becoming a disgrace in the heavens and in the universe. It's like you see what you see now. And I'm not saying I'm not against anybody dating outside their race, but right now is not the fucking time. Too much has happened. Too much blood is on the table. How can you keep eating at this table? We eating at the table with animals. How can we keep sitting here eating at this nasty ass table? It got dry bones. See, they took the Bible and they took so much that's real and so much that's not. They took, our people was predicting the future then and warning our people then. Our people was writing in Proverbs and giving prophecies then. And they stole all of those that was sent for us for warning. That's why you see the pictures when they was showing that some of the Egyptians was holding them and bringing the sword. And you will see the black man, the white man, the Chinese man together, because they were warning us that it's going to be a lot against us. The real people, even our own, even those that look like us. We in those days now. But some of that stuff in the Bible was written to warn us. But our enemy, with the trickery that he is, the spirit of illusion, the devil that walks to and fro seeking how he can devour us, is walking around, and he switched the words on us. He switched it on us. And that's why the Bible seems so real, but so fake at the same time. That's why we spend decades standing in a burning house, going back and forth, arguing back and forth, arguing back and forth, arguing back and forth. We know that there's a creator. Every religion cannot hold the test of white supremacy, so it's not doing you no good. The only reason that the religion helps a lot of even the Nation of Islam is because they protect each other physically. Ain't no God just sitting up here holding them higher than nobody else. They just band together. They got their micronation. I don't care what nobody say. Tell your God out there to stop white supremacy and prove me wrong. Enough is enough. You can have your religion, but you need to have the hand and book in one hand and a gun and a sword in another. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to praise your God and stuff, then why you can't praise your God in peace? Whatever religion you are in. If I want to believe in Jesus, or if I want to believe in Elijah Muhammad, if I want to do this, why the hell can I do it in my own damn apartment without worrying about the white beast busting through my door by accident? The Bible came to warn us, and they took it and made it. I told our people the Bible wasn't meant for you. Those people were our servants. And we knew who they were. That's why everything was stolen. That's why they wipe out their identity. That's why it's been a generational with them wiping us out, because they know that the truth is that they were our servants, and they only going to be here for a little time, like the Bible says about the devil. He only going to rule for a little time, because after a while, science, reality is going to kick in. They are not melanated, and you cannot be on a melanated planet being non-melanated. So they're trying every way to destroy it. When a thief come in the house, he don't give a fuck of what's going on. He looking for the goods. He tearing up what you built. A thief don't give a damn. He knocking down stuff. He open up the door. He ripping up stuff because it ain't his shit. This ain't their planet. They don't give a fuck how much they mess up the water and the earth. And then to you, they acting smart. Look at what we discovered. How you discovered something that was already there? We've been living with the beast all this time. We didn't never have to cage up the beast and then send our friends to look what we caught. Look what we did. My whole point of all of this is showing you that they have exerted power over us and make us think that they have this ultimate white supremacist power, and we can't do nothing about it. When we have the power to form micronations and form our own Black United Nations, and that's where we're at. That is the solution. There is nothing else to fucking talk about. Let me get in the chat. Go ahead, Charlie, because I'm going off.
No, we need to hear it. We got to realize that we're a spiritual people. Religion is not good for us. I mean, we have to go back to our roots. Realizing that the God is inside, the God is within, the Most High is everywhere. The universe is going to correct itself. It's going to take back what it started with. So the more we understand that, the more we're going to be better. And we bring all that power together, it creates that good energy. That's that power that we're looking for.
Exactly. And that's what we are here for. Like I said, I'm going to read you again what a micronation is, so that we don't think that we forming another group that's against another group. What we are is the United Empires. We named it empires right there at the bottom under Charlie picture. Empires is to include everybody in their respectable groups and places. Not to strip you. You've been stripped enough. If what you believe in right now, you hold on, because when you get the freedom to learn freely, then your thoughts will change. We are a collective group of Black people, nations, government, or whatever, forming a government, which is nothing but a bunch of laws and treaties that we abide by together. Saying we're not going to use each other. We're not going to fight and kill each other first. We're going to try to have a means of resolving our issues with each other, besides taking it to their streets, where our wolves, white wolves and prey, is waiting to get the dry bones that we leave after we destroy each other. A micronation, we are nothing but a bunch of Black businesses saying, hey, you got t-shirts, I need t-shirts, or what, you need shoes, I sell shoes, or I do this, or hey, you cook, really, I do construction. We gotta get together and form the communities and stop. We have sold ourselves out to the enemy. The enemy has us on the cross. We are the ones that's on the cross. Jesus is the melanin, and all of us is like this. We can't even do nothing with our own kids and family, because their kids and family, they got so much wealth they'll never see it, so they hire other people to come clean up their messes and teach their children, while we're trying to run to the job and do this, and then we're still trying to look like we're not suffering, because you know what? We're not victims. I hear people say that, and that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard before. You don't have to be a weak victim, but you are a victim of white supremacy. You are a victim of lies. You are a victim of this system of white supremacy called America. And it's time for us as Black melanated people who are being attacked by a system, while they sit back and allow their little white boys to get their guns and come shoot us up, and the parents go home and eat dinner at night, and we have to still raise money to replace those people in our communities that we are losing. We don't see the black mamas crying because we always seeing happy Susie, happy Becky. A micronation, which we all need to get together under this, what we are is a new government for us. We created the table to bring all the flags together for our own Black United Nations. That's what we are. A micronation, sometimes referred to as a model country or a new country project, is an entity that claims to be independent nation or state, but not recognized by the world government or major international organizations. Micronations are distinguished from imaginary countries because what you have to understand, and you can Google it right now, I think there's over 150 micronations in America. And there's other ones across the world because there's people that don't agree with the government. If we strong enough together, we could be recognized by a government, but we don't have to be recognized by a government. But it doesn't mean that other countries and people cannot do business with us. We'll be a bunch of business people doing business among each other. That's how you start a community. And that's how those dollars start floating around your community. That's why the white community say they dollars float around 14 times before it leaves out. That's why the Chinese community floats around 12 times before it leaves out. That's why the Mexican community floats around 9 to 10 times before it leaves out. That's why the Black community floats around a second and then leaves out, because it's paying for Jordans, it's paying for this, it's paying white rent, it's paying white cars, it's going for white businesses, it's going out. Do you get my point? Do you fucking get it? That I'm cursing. Fuck, because you need to get it. Get up off your knees and stop praying and get up in your mind. God gave you the knowledge to do something about your damn situation. Because if you got to eat, you get your ass up and you go find something to eat. If you on drugs, you get your ass up and you find a way to get them drugs. Get your ass up and find a way to get freedom. If you're going to do drugs, do them in peace. If you're going to do what you do it in damn peace. We don't do pedophiles. We slice off dicks in that and plug up coochies if you're going to be a pedophile. Yes. I'm sorry. I had to get that out because I had an argument with somebody on one of the spaces. And they was talking about, are we going to let pedophiles in and try to play that white game or back and forth? Like, are you stupid? This is the problem. We got a whole bunch of pale pedophiles making it okay. They just passed laws in Tennessee, Texas, I think, making it okay to marry 12-year-old girls. We are living with the devil. The devil is walking in our faces, and we don't want to admit that it's the devil because we got white friends.
Time wasting. Don't get that any energy.
Exactly. Let me remind you, they find out Disney World is a micronation. Yup. You do business. We need to do business among each other, because what we do is our dollar, instead of going to that white insurance company, if you the Black insurance company and create it goes to you. Then you take that money, and when you want to buy something, you go to a Black store or with Black labels. And then that get there, that money stays, see, it's still in the community. Then if you want something to eat, you go to that Black restaurant. You need gas, you go to that Black gas station. You need a car, you go to that Black car salesman, not where he's working in a white business, but that Black business. You want food, you go to this Black farmer. That's when the money starts floating around in our community. It doesn't mean we're in the same blocks, but it could help. But it means that we can even be international communities. When we buy this stuff and we selling our stuff on there, half of this shit come from China. It's not floating around in our community. It helps. We got to do what we got to do now, but we need to be more cautious and conscious of where we go spend our dollars at, because we need to afford to float around in the Black community. So what we do as as micronations, if this nation, if you a G, a Crip, a Blood, the new Black Panther, old Black Panther, but what we need is to get information and sources and education from each other. Like Zayas Institute, I heard Michi X got the network. Those that's here, because I agree with a lot of that Michi X said, but that's another story. But we got to go float around in communities, and our Black people don't need to get the money so that you could go live like white people, so that you could go buy white people labels. We don't need that shit. That's when it started leaving out the community. We need to make them, when they say you're famous, you don't supposed to have, so many people don't have access. You can't just go call Beyonce. You can't go call Jay-Z. You can't do that. The thing is, they have made laws and a system where they always have access into our pockets. They have fake fines that they have their racist police come pull us over. Then they come and then we got to pay a fine to their court. We're keeping them in jobs. They shouldn't be no white people. All these police and prosecutors are in the heart of our neighborhoods, and we're keeping them jobs because they keep writing laws. Almost all the laws are written to enslave black people. We have never wrote no law against white people. They use the Civil War, the civil rights era when we trying to fight for our humanity. And they see something wrong with that. They said there was something wrong with black people when we wanted to be freed as slaves. They even did it. I forgot what condition they named it. There's black hospitals where they put us in insane asylums because they thought it was something wrong with black people wanting their freedom, because they see us as animals. So they do it in this system, this era that we're in now, this generation. They see something wrong. So that's why they went against Black Lives Matter. I ain't talking about what Black Lives Matter did. We know what it meant. They see something wrong with us wanting freedom. And we don't need people like that ruling us. We should see something wrong with the people who don't look and live with us coming in there ruling us. But they have made it, you think that long as they're in a plain suit, not your colors, not friendly, long as they're in a stiff suit, whether they white woman or white man, that they got this authority. They have painted authority the color white, blonde hair, blue eyes, money. That's what, and you don't see now. You toy with your human nature, your natural way to survive. We know you can go look up that the government put fucking drugs in the neighborhood. You know, black people didn't have planes, but then they want to take you. They want you to idolize American gangster and these black people who overcame a little bit and then did the drugs on their black people scale. When it was the CIA, we keep finding planes full of drugs that's owned by these white senators and stuff. Nobody says nothing. They put drugs and guns in our neighborhood and created mass destruction. And they sit back and wait for them to get jobs. Oh, it's so much crime over there. We need to send more of our white boys. Let's look this stuff up. They got fines that you can't store your own vehicle on your property if it's not registered to the state that you pay taxes. That's what I'm saying. They have so much because they make sure they only have representation when they're making these racist rules. And they know most of the time if they keep a certain class of people out of money, then you're going to fall under this stuff. And the people that's taking so much money don't care if you and your baby are suffering. They come out. There's a shortage on milk. Don't you? It's like I told my daughter. I had been telling my daughter before to breastfeed, but it's like I told my daughter before. Do you not? What was we doing before they made y'all get Similac? I said, and when we started on Similac, we only kept our kids on Similac for a little bit. Then you switched them to milk or whatever. I tried to breastfeed at my last child when I had realized what it was with breastfeeding. They have made us take what's normal to look unnormal. It's not normal for you to breastfeed your child, but it's normal for you to walk around and twerk and show your ass. Do you not get that? Black women, gay men, that's supposed to, I guess, you mimic the actions that you think that's black women. But you think it's a shortage when you walking around with 2 jugs of breast milk. Then you could store it. Then if you ate healthy, I told my daughter before, I said, store your breast milk. I had told her this. I said, just pump your breast milk and store it. This is because they always coming up with something. And you think I said, and then she was like, they said it's a shortage. I said, how's it a shortage and you got breasts? And then just take them off of milk. He older now. Black women, if you start breastfeeding, even if you got a little child, your breast will start producing milk again. You don't know yourselves. You were the only one that they allowed until they came up with formulas. They wouldn't even allow you to breastfeed your own child. They wanted your breast. And somehow black woman is the world's enemy. Let's go into history, not studying about these white lies. Their history is a lie. They allow them white men to come over there and attack us. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I agree. I mean, just look at gynecology. Gynecology is based off of black women. All those studies on black slaves. That's how we get our knowledge. Our knowledge is everything in this country came from our brain, our bodies, our resources. It's all of us. So, you know, we have to go back within ourselves, use our own resources, eat healthy, live off the grid as much as you can. Because it's going to come a time where when that power goes out, what are you going to do? Just like we find ourselves here. Some people are struggling because they are dependent on this Infamil, Similac, you know, when you have your own products. So you have to read these signs, be aware. Start stockpiling your supplies.
And then on top of it, we just need to, like you said, when we get uncomfortable, they make sure we spend so much time working their job, working so much in trying to race after bills that they're creating, giving themselves the okay to steal your money. So you will never have time to get for yourself and do something for yourself. Then they want to make sure they pass rules where you can't live off the grid so that you can be thrown into this destruction, even if you just want to walk away. They're forcing people to fight back. But we ain't got to even fight back like that. Our way of fighting back is walking away. If you got land, let's put our land together, put something on there. If you got land, it's time to either start using it for food and making black, we need our own black stuff, but raising food. If you got land, it's time to start putting houses, tiny houses, tents or something. It's time for us to start trying to do mass separation. We have done it before, people. The Trail of Tears, do you not notice those were black people, even though we were always taught they Indians? My mom and my grandmom and them used to talk about that. It's like we talk about something that just happened around the corner. We done did mass migrations because we just always got fed up and left. But now they've had the power to keep moving. We need to find ways to get into the solar power and get in air conditioners, because the worst they can do is make us hot. We can grow. We might not have all the fancy food at their restaurants, but it's going to be the sacrifice. But we could get food. We always got food. And then the food that they used to throw away that they thought wasn't food when they thought they were punishing us, now they making millions of dollars off of it, and they still got to find a fucking way to pay us reparations. How do white people, I just want to say this. I looked up soul food restaurants, all these white people restaurants were popping up. They have sucked all our identity out because they want us to recognize that we are all the same. No, the fuck we're not. No, we're not. We have to understand we're not the same. It's okay, but we have not punished them because they were different. They attacked us because we were different. We did not attack them. We do not like white people because they're white. We don't like what the fuck y'all do. We don't like that y'all won't admit the savage ways that y'all have been doing, and enough has been enough. We are tired that y'all won't admit that we need to fear for our lives when you come around. Everything that's been placed on the black man and the black woman is what we need to be feeling for the white people, because they are the ones attacking it. I was in the laundromat. I seen a white boy with a bag, and I get scared. And that's the fucking truth. How long are we going to do this? We can't even walk at night. It's too many black people coming up shot, and nobody knows who does it. The police gets all these impounded cars, and all these drive-bys keep happening in all these cities, and we keep acting like it's us. We know that they have put drugs in the neighborhood and guns. So why we don't know, why won't we hold them to a standard that that's something that they would do? See, we don't have them conversations to say that's something that them white people would do. We laugh and joke. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Oh, y'all woke people. I was looking at a show that laugh about people talking about blame it on the government. Blame it on the government. It's nothing to laugh about when you burying people, and then black people stop waiting till it hit your door. And then you like, oh, wow, this happened. That's what happened in Buffalo, New York. I say this in my thing all the time. Stop waiting till it's you. And stop waiting till it's your son and then start saying, say her name March. No. Do something the fuck about it now. Stop waiting for bodies. We are alive now. Stop waiting to go to heaven and get treasures. Ain't nothing up there but space in another dimension that this body is not going to. So this body need to enjoy everything it need to do enjoy now without white supremacists in the fucking way. Because they are the ones with the problem with us. We're not the ones with the problem with them. Did y'all see Walmart made Juneteenth their trademark? No, it's like enough with these. They swear they're helping. These white companies are so disrespectful. None of the money is going to stop anything. None of the money is helping us. They come around every once a year and pay some people light bill and rent and act like they doing something. You put us in a situation just like the stimulus. The stimulus was a joke. And this go to white people and everybody. How can your white government give you enough money that don't even pay the rent but gas and turn back around and raise all the money? Who's inflation? Inflation is the same white people. White people are robbing white people and black people. When are you going to get tired of the corporations? Oh, that's what we were talking about. The micronations. There's over 150 micronations, and there's a lot of white people who are tired of the U.S. system too. But a lot of them are not going to walk away from the U.S. system because they built it too. They like the U.S. We built America. So just because we the United Empires of Akibelon, that's dual citizenship. I'm still getting my American flag because my ancestors built this fucking country. Their ancestors didn't build this country. Their ancestors used our blood to mop up the floors of this country. They used our bones to build the structure, and they used our skin to enclose the walls and wrap themselves in. They used our eyes to see the future. They used our brain to build the technology. This is our fucking country. But we're going to give it another name. We're giving it a facelift. It's time for a change. It's time for a damn change. So the whole point of the United Nations of Akibelon is to show all of us, to show that we are a nation. We are able to get together. We are able to form something and get along. We need to move off the grid out of these cities so they can stop their drive-by imaginary shootings killing us for real. While the parents are always, we spend more money in the funeral homes. We need to start taking all this money and stop saying GoFundMe's and start in our bad communities building our own police department. It's called work together. If you're going to be the patrol police, you might have to take a low salary pay. Some of y'all volunteer. Stop volunteering for United Way. Stop giving your checks to these people that come around you and somebody, give $1 to United Way. Hell no. We need our own money. Stop giving out this stuff. We got to start redirecting our traffic and the things that we do. We need to start getting solar panels. If we can't, some of us gonna have to move off houses. Half the people like them coats do live on the land a little bit, pay the bill, and the other come back for some months, and the other people go out and work a little bit and bring back the money. We gotta start a system of community, but we can't do that if we fighting and killing and walking around and fucking each other, men and women. Some of us black women can't even trust our women with our men. It's something sadly wrong where you don't have, they have given you, they took everything from you and given you disgrace, disrespect, no ethics, no morals, no conscience, because they have no conscience. That's what make you a God person, is to have a conscience. That's that spirit that you're looking for. Because that conscience that they gave a name will say, I don't think, do you feel bad about that? You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do this if I was you. God speaks to you all the time. You just don't hear it because you've been programmed to listen to God in a different way and to picture God in a different way. We are going to have to get to the point that we have to tolerate each other a little bit longer. We got to start showing them this is how you fight. When they ain't got nobody to come in there and wait and shoot at and pull out guns, they ain't got no reason to have no fucking jobs in our neighborhood. We got to start taking care of our kids. And if you black and you ain't for us, it's time to start admitting that some black people ain't for us, and we don't need to be trying to drag them and convince their asses. If they okay with what's going on, then let them go on being okay. It's time to get black people who want to train people and help. It's time to stop being jealous of each other and start working with each other. Black women, we gonna have to dig deep down in and start looking in the mirror and changing ourselves. And some of y'all black men, y'all some dogs. Some of y'all need to stop being them Umars. Yes, I said it, acting like you all for the people. You got all this goodness, but then you a hoe behind scenes, and then you causing black women to argue with each other. I ain't saying that all this stuff ain't been going on. It's just us. I'm just saying we got to look in the mirror and get a grip on our bad behavior, whatever the fuck it is, individually. And admit to ourselves. If we can't admit to nothing else, go to the damn mirror and look in the mirror and say, I ain't shit right now, but I need to get better. Or I ain't, this situation got me effed up right now. I need to do better. It's called sacrifice. They trick you to go to church and fast and do all this stuff to make you think you're doing something, when the real struggle is getting self in control. It's changing, aligning your chakras so that you can walk out in this world and live this life. See, we were supposed to live our life, but we had an alien interruption. Y'all looking for aliens. Them motherfuckers already here. Science say they ain't even supposed to be here, and they know this. To them, they inventing, they discovering everything because this is a new world to them. We didn't have to, the stuff they have set up was not our structures. We didn't have to set up research and take in and experiment on them because we had already learned throughout generation, throughout evolution. We were the answers to evolution because our people were leaving it. What does the fuck the Vatican got under her little throne? The Vatican, the Queen, what's under there? Look it up. Google the book that they haven't even translated a lot of stuff because they killed all the people who could translate. They were they so dumb. They so animalistic and barbaric. They were eating us. They were eating the Egyptians. The Egyptians. They won't, and then they don't want you to know that America had just as many pyramids and Egyptian stuff as in Africa. Because see, they did this mind separation. If they can make you think everybody in Africa stayed in Africa and they had the rest of the world, then it's okay. We know that they lied about Christopher Columbus. We knew that people were already here. We know they don't like black people. We know that they mixed their people. Why don't we know that we were the Indians here? Why don't we know that? And then the boats that they talking about, they were shipping us out of America to Africa so they can make their story real. So every story that they got is backwards. Our black people did not have to kill all animals and hang their heads on the wall because there was no competition. When you a God and I'm a God and you a God and she a God and he a God, we know what we are capable of. It was just friendly competition. Now we did have our wars and stuff, but it wasn't these white wars. It wasn't to wipe out an entire race. It wasn't to kill the earth. These white people have inventions. They're living off of money because they don't give a fuck. Like I said, if it ain't your house and you break in the house and you know you coming in, you know they got valuable things, you're going to tear up every fucking thing looking for what you want because it ain't your shit. You don't care. You ain't going to be here long. You in here to get what you can get and you out. That's what they're doing to the earth. The air is polluted. The water is polluted. Space is polluted. Google it. Google how much space junk they got. Half the time they talking about these meteorites, all this stuff falling on people. That's because they polluted space. They are the junky people. They always making it look like when we get a place, we have a whole bunch of broke down cars and this and that. Now, they are the junky people. The ocean is polluted. And then they are able to, what I told you, the most dangerous thing walking is a white man with a pen and paper in his hand and a white woman. They write the laws that make it okay to pollute the earth, the oceans, the water, and everything. I just wanted to give my rant. Let y'all wake up. All these other men, all these white men that's attacking, Google all these white men attacking black women. You can barely find their faces. When I had to go dig up Peyton Gendron, the one who shot up the people, you barely find them. They go ahead and write their articles, excuses. We see the two different Americas all the time. But I'm tired of complaining about it, and let's do something about it. Use your credit. Let's get land. Get in groups. Get in different investment groups. Buy land. Your group got this land. Our group got this land. Let's talk about what we're gonna put on it. We don't want to go to Disney no more. We don't want to go to a race car. Let's start building. It's gonna take time. Let's build our own movie theaters. Let's do our drive-in. Let's get a projector, put up a screen. We might not have what they have right now because they stole from us, but we can get there if we start. But long as we don't start, we're never going to see our future without them. They don't want us to see a future without them. They want us to play this game. We're not from Africa, but we can do business with our cousins, our brothers, and our sisters. Africa and all the rest of these countries need to start fighting back. It's more of them together than us. We can't save the world, but we can save ourselves here because everybody's looking at the Black Americans here. For some reason, if Africa's so important, they always depending on us. So y'all just have a beautiful day. Think about that. Think about ways that you can make things better. What can we do? If y'all are some of y'all out there, if y'all can help tutor online, go to the United Empires of Kibelon, email us. Info at the United Empires of Kibelon. Say that you can help online tutor so that we can get some of our kids that need the extra tutoring. If some of y'all can mentor, say you could mentor in the subject line and say, hey, you can go online and be a mentor because our people need people to talk to. We just going in the era where it's okay for our people to get counseling, to go to therapists because they don't want to recognize they have caused us PTSD. We've been at war. So y'all, let's do what we got to do to heal our community because that's the only way. Micronation. This micronation is for us. We are the Black United Nations. That means everybody comes to the table. Bring your respectable flags, whatever it is. If you're Christian, I don't care. If you got my skin and you have the same the concerns as me and our nation, then let's come together and let's talk. Let's build. If you white and you want to help and you know your people fucked up, donate. Help us get land. Donate. We need our own spaces that's safe and free until we know who's the enemy. But right now, y'all can't come in our spaces because y'all have every space. We trying to get away because every time we're next to y'all, something happens. Blue Lives Matter are murdering us because they have the power to, and we see it all the time. When it happens, they give each other money. No matter how much they murder, it should be against the law. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Timothy, Alexander, Dee Dee, Taylor, Erica, Thinking Space, Kathy, Black Love, Black Mama, Beatzilla. Shout out to Charlie for joining me. You have anything you want to wrap up and say, Charlie?
You said a lot.
I can't.
No, I just want to say I don't know how many men are in the chat. I was trying to take a look, see what I can see. It's hard for me to see on this phone, but we need the men to come join us. Come and talk to me. Get in contact with me. Get on the website so we can build. We can protect our community.
Exactly. That's what we got to do. We're going to start joining with Black Panthers and start trying to create certain groups that can patrol the streets, so we don't have to keep calling the enemy because they have a law that they don't follow. They have constitutions they don't follow. Every country in the world knows that America has broken every treaty they have had with everybody. Let's start talking about those uncomfortable truths. Because you got white friends, they make you feel guilty to not say the truth. But it's okay for you to be stereotyped. Enough is enough. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you, Charlie, for joining me on the chat. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Going back to work.
Have a good day.